Did you know that there's an amazing Cantonese restaurant in New York's Chinatown that has an incredibly diverse selection of food? Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show. If you have a minute, I have an opinion. Today, I'm taking you on a journey to Exotaste, a Cantonese restaurant located in New York's Chinatown. This restaurant has been in Chinatown since the 1990s and is one of the mainstays of the neighborhood. Exotaste is special because of their wide-ranging menu covering several regions of southern China. I entered the restaurant on an early evening and find a well-designed dining room. Soon I'll order several dishes and some you won't see every day in Chinatown. At the end of the video, I'll tell you which dish is the star of the show. Join me for this truly interesting meal. Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show, and today I'm at a restaurant on Elizabeth Street in Manhattan's Chinatown called Exotaste. Now, Exotaste is one of those restaurants that have been around forever. As long as I can remember, probably since the 1990s. This is what their menu looks like. It's a gigantic menu with lots of pictures and many different types of cuisine. Now, what's interesting about Exotaste is that they are basically a jack of all trades, of Southern Chinese food. So you have Hong Kong style dishes here, you have traditional Cantonese type dishes here, and you even have things like Thai and Korean type dishes, in a smaller section, but still it's available. What's kind of missing here is the northern dishes, but I think this restaurant really specializes in many different types of cuisine from Guangdong, which is southern China. It's very interesting. Whenever I come into this restaurant, I always have trouble figuring what to order because there's just so many things to order. And not only that, they have all these placards on their walls showing different types of food that I really can't figure out because they're written in tiny letters. My eyesight isn't that great. So, there's just a lot of stuff and it's really hard to choose. But one thing I know for sure is that I'm going to try some of the staples, some of the interesting things that I've found online, and show you some of the things that they have here. But whatever I show you is going to be a tiny, tiny fraction of what they actually offer. The next step is to check out the menu. And also, if you like what I'm doing, please subscribe to my channel, and let's go. Okay, now's the time to take a look at the menu, and this is pretty big. We have one menu here, and then we have a several page menu over here. So I'm going to try to go through this very quickly because there's a lot. So over here, we have the dim sum section. As you can see, they range between $4.95 to $9. Over here, you have the chung fun. So there's about 10 different chung funs, rice rolls here. Then we have pan-fried noodles. When we flip the menu over, we have the lo mein section. We have the fried noodles section, which are basically thinner noodles, usually egg noodles and chow fun. And then we have the fried rice section, as you can see. And all of these are under $20. Next, let's take a look at the picture menu. Now this one has all the famous seafood, like crabs and beef with crispy noodles, fried rice noodles, some squab, all the fancy stuff, dried seafood. This is a really nice dish. Then we have some dim sum appetizers, all with pictures. Next we have some more dim sum, and these are all about $7. Next we have steamed rice rolls. Now these all have pictures. I'm wondering why they have two menus, but this is definitely a repeat of the previous menu. Next we have congee and casserole. These congee dishes are pretty inexpensive, all under $13. Most are much cheaper. Next we have noodles and soup like wonton. You have pork intestine. You have noodles and shrimp. So all kinds of noodle soups here. Next we have rice dishes. Now these are basically stir fries on top of white rice. And then moving on, we have some fried rices. We'll go through these quickly. These are all under $20. We have broad noodle, my fun, and pan-fried noodles. So three different types of noodles, all Cantonese style, all stir-fried. Then we have some meats, Cantonese dishes like roast duck, crispy chicken with garlic sauce, oxtail, grilled ribeye. And then we have vegetarian dishes. These are all stir-fried vegetables, all under $20. Then we have the house special squab. We have some more stir-fried dishes. Most of them are proteins mixed with vegetables. And then we have some more special dishes. These are more expensive, like the grilled rack of lamb, abalone, squab, jumbo oysters. And then we have things like oyster omelet, chef special recommendations, golden shrimp ball, and pork intestines. And then we have other stuff. This one doesn't have any price, but I don't think you're looking to order from here. And then they have sizzling platters, basically meats and vegetables over a sizzling platter. And then we have Tom Yum Goong rice noodle soup with different proteins. I think this is their Thai style food. Here's a bunch of Chinese foods. I could read some Chinese, but not all of it. And then we have sizzling meats combo. We have surf and turf. Interesting. And then we have Korean style BBQ rice. They offer everything here. And then you have house special soups. And then you have some more items. Looks like seafood items, but in Chinese and without a price. And finally, we have the desserts. Now, these are all Hong Kong style desserts. I'm going to order one of these and give that a try. One thing that's interesting is that they have herbal jelly here, and they have egg pudding here, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff here that I would like to try. The first dish that I ordered is noodles with yellow scallion and dried squid. This is absolutely one of my favorite Cantonese dishes because of the wok hei. It's usually made with a really nice soy sauce. And when they brought this dish to me, I was amazed. This has to be at least 9 to 10 inches wide. It might not show on the camera, but it is really big. And it's piled high up to 3 inches. So I'm gonna have a lot to bring home tonight. But anyway, you can see that the noodles are pretty dry. They're the Cantonese egg noodles. There's also some bean sprouts. There's some carrots. And there's that, what I believe, there's that yellow chive. I don't see it here, but apparently it should be in here. And there's that dried squid, which is this piece over here. So you can see that nice umami-filled dried squid. There's some mushrooms here too. So there's a lot of flavor in here. This is a umami-filled dish between the soy sauce and the dried squid. So I can't wait to get my hands on this. Okay, the first dish I'm going to try is the fried noodles with the yellow chives or yellow scallions and the dried squid. So this is what it looks like. It's nice and soy sauced. So the yellow noodles turn a little brown. That's great. Let's try this. It's wonderful. The thing that I immediately notice is the saltiness and the smokiness of the noodles. They really cook this on a really high flame. It's smoky, and that soy sauce has really permeated the noodles. So fragrant. Love this. The vegetables add some crunch to this noodle. It's really good. What I notice is that these dried squids are always a strong provider of umami. And they've been soaked well, so they're easy to chew. And next we have the mushrooms. I'm not sure what these mushrooms are. I think they're shiitake. Let's see what they are. Yes, they're the fresh shiitake, not the dried shiitake. Very nice. I'm telling you, this dish has such a strong umami such a strong, nice soy sauce flavor. Now, the fact that it has a lot of soy sauce doesn't mean that it's salty. I think it's the seasoned soy sauce that they use, which is not too salty. It's really nice. The smokiness of the wok really hits me. I really love this dish. Whenever I go to a Cantonese restaurant, I always order this. The next dish that I ordered is the fried chicken with the garlic. Now, this I can tell is deep fried. Look at the brown coating on the skin, which is the fried skin of the chicken. We have a chicken wing here. We have some white meat here. And we have some dark meat here. So from appearances, it looks like this is half a chicken. From left to right, about 8 inches. Top to bottom, maybe 6 to 7 inches. So definitely an ample portion of meat. And this is about $17. Looks pretty worth it. There's plenty of protein here. You have some dried garlic here. You have some scallions. So this would probably be a very aromatic dish. And another thing that I noticed that they didn't do is that they didn't drown this in some kind of soy sauce. So this should be very interesting. I'm wondering how moist this dish can be. The next dish I'm going to try is the fried chicken with garlic. Now this particular dish in Cantonese is called dajigai. What's a little different about this is that the skin is actually a little darker than I normally see this dish fried to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try the white meat. I'm going to try the dark meat, which is basically the leg and thigh. So let's try the white meat. Okay. I tried the white meat first because I wanted to see if it's dry, and it's not. They maintain the juiciness somehow. So this white meat is not bad, and it's seasoned properly. Yes, it's a nice crisp on the outside, and surprisingly, I detect a little bit of sweetness on the skin, but that just adds a little more excitement to the flavor. So it's not bad. Very delicious. Now, let's try the dark meat, see what that's like. This is, I think, a thigh piece. So let's try this. Very nice. The meat is nice and juicy, just as I expect from a piece of dark meat. I also just took a bite of the garlic, which has been sprinkled over the top, and it's not bad. For those of you who know me pretty well, I tend to like things salted a little better. This one is salted, I think, up to 90% of my requirements. It could use a little more salt, but for most people, I think this is salt enough. It's just me. I like saltier things, but this is a very good piece of meat. Look how juicy that is. I have to say that the skin has retained its crispiness. It took about 10 minutes before I started eating this, but it's still crispy. This is a very good version of dajigai, especially for a restaurant that does a lot of things. So, not bad. The next dish that I ordered is the hamaiturng, or the dried shrimp rice roll. Now these are made to order, and look at this, just look at this. You can tell that this is all in one piece. They just scraped it off a pan. This is definitely made to order. So you see the tiny little dried shrimps here? There doesn't appear to be anything else other than some scallions here. So yeah, some of these types of dishes, these hamaiturns, tend to have a lot of other different items. Oh, I do see something over here. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna give that a try. But yeah, these types of dishes tend to have multiple ingredients. So I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna tell you what they have in this dish. The next dish I'm going to have is the hamaiturng, or the shrimp rice roll. Now, the shrimp rice roll, as I had said before, has lots of ingredients inside the rice roll. So I'm going to tell you what they are. And also, I'll tell you a little bit about the quality of the rice roll itself. So here goes. The one thing that hits me about this rice roll is that the shrimp has a really powerful taste. Normally, with these dried shrimps, they soak it and they get rid of some of that shrimpy flavor, but this one is very strong. The shrimp flavor is actually pretty dominant. What I can say about the rice roll is that this rice roll is actually not super thin, but that doesn't mean that the quality isn't there. It's a little thicker than paper thin, but what's good about this is that it's very slippery, very squeaky when you have it in your mouth. Its texture is great. Really like it. As I'm eating this, I'm tasting other things that are in that rice roll. There might be some scallion, some dried radish maybe, but not a lot of it. The dominant flavor here is that shrimp. It's so seafoody. This is the first time I ever said that the shrimps in the rice roll actually overpower and dominate this dish. I don't know. Could that be that the quality of the dried shrimp is really good? That might be a sign that it's a really good dried shrimp. So yeah, so if you really like dried shrimp, this is the type of rice roll that you should get. This is really good. The next dish I ordered is something that is very, very unusual. It is salted fish chow fun. Now, we're all used to beef chow fun, but this place has all these different types of chow fun. Now, this one has salted fish. I'm sniffing it. I don't really smell it, so maybe I'll smell it when I taste it, but this chow fun has some sesame seeds. It's not deep brown, like they didn't stuff it with a lot of oil. And there's scallions. It seems very basic. Here's some mushrooms. But one thing that I have to say about all these dishes is that this one is about 8 inches in diameter all the way around and about like 2.5 to 3 inches deep. So one thing that I've noticed about Exotaste is that they give you a lot of food. So this dish I believe is about like $18 or $19, but you're getting a lot of food for your money. Very nice. Okay, the last dish that I'm going to try is the salted fish chow fun. Now this is a dish that you normally can't find in many restaurants. In fact, this is the only place where I found this dish. So I'm hoping to taste some of that nice umami-filled dried fish. In Cantonese, it's called ham yu. So here goes, my first bite. Okay. My first bite has barely a taste of that. There's just a hint of it. But I do see a piece of it right here. Let's see what this tastes like. Yeah. What I just put into my mouth is ham yu. Not bad. The ho fun noodles are super nice. They're nice and thin. They're thin, but they're broad. They have a nice bite to it. They're very fresh. I like that. I have to say, the bites that I've had aren't overwhelming in salty fish flavor. I wish it was a little more salty, especially more of that salted fish. This dish, I believe, is under $20. Salted fish is actually a pretty expensive ingredient in Chinese cooking. So maybe, there's a reason why they added a little to this. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to dig around and see if there are other bites that have more of that salted fish. Oh, before I do that, here's the mushroom. And I think this is the shiitake. Yes, it is. Now, wait a second as I fish around the plate of chow fun. I just fished around the plate and I just tried some more of that chow fun. And yeah, the salted fish seems to be not that salty, not that prominent. I wish there were more salty fish in this dish. However, despite the fact that there's not a huge amount of salted fish, the quality of the noodles are amazing. They're slippery, they're thin, and they're chewy. Very nice. And despite the fact that there isn't that much salty fish in here, it's properly salted. How ironic. So yeah, this is a good dish on its own, but I could use more of that salty fish. Today I ordered the double boiled egg pudding. Now, this is something that I have never seen in New York, and maybe I haven't been out enough, but this is basically an egg custard, and it's very popular in Macau and Hong Kong. So as you can see, it's nice and jiggly. And there's a beautiful, beautiful skin on top of this egg custard. So we're gonna poke ourselves into this egg custard and see what it's like. Before I eat this, I want to show you what it looks like. I'm pretty sure the skin is gonna come right off. And okay, it actually doesn't look like there's a thin skin on top, but this looks like a nice thick custard, and it's yellow in color. So we're gonna give this a try and see what the texture is like, because that's usually what makes a good egg custard. Okay, now's the time to try the double egg pudding. So here it goes. Here's my bite. Oh my God, this is so good, so good. Now, when you think about pudding, and they call it a pudding, you would think of thick and creamy. Well, this is the opposite of that. It's light and airy. It's almost like whipped cream, a little thicker than whipped cream, but it's nice and light and airy. There's a strong flavor of egg yolk in this custard, and it's not too sweet like most Asian desserts. Now, I'm digging deeper into the custard, and the deeper that I dig, it's the same texture through and through. So you're not getting a denser pudding as you go down. Wow, this is so nice. Now, I've had similar things in Hong Kong before, and yeah, they have a different version of this that's just made with milk, but not eggs. But this is similar to that. I like that. This is cold. I was also offered this as warm. I think they could have microwaved it and heated it up, but today's a very hot day, so they said, oh, you should have it cold. So I took their advice. I had it that way. But look at that. This is really nice. And now's the time for your favorite part of the show. Ta-da! The star of the show. And today I chose a dish that I order a lot of if you followed me on my channel. Now, this particular dish had the most umami of them all, and that particular dish is the stir-fried noodles with the yellow scallion and dried squid. Now, a lot of people don't know about this dish. If you ever come to a Chinese restaurant, you're not Cantonese, you should try this. You really should try this, because this particular dish has so much umami. You're gonna get that strong wok hei flavor from the soy sauce, and you're gonna get it from the dried squid. Now, these are amazing. These little dried squids are packed with flavor. And don't rest on those, because whenever you see dried seafood, do not discount them for lower quality. It's gonna elevate your food one way or another. So out of the 4 dishes that I ordered, that dish to me is definitely the best. You need to order that. The meal is over, and that is one satisfying meal. I mean, I ordered 5 dishes, including that dessert, and it was just wonderful. The bigness, the size of the menu, it didn't seem to matter. It didn't make any of the food less appealing, because when you have a big menu, you kind of worry that the food might not be up to quality because there's so many things on that menu. But every single one of my dishes were done pretty well, and some were exceptional. What I can say is that if you love Southern Chinese food, you really need to come down here, because they'll have all your regular Cantonese stuff, but they have more of the eclectic stuff, things that you normally don't think about combining, such as the salted fish and the chow fun. So I really enjoyed myself here. One thing that I can say about this restaurant is that, you know, they seem to be pretty busy. I'm here at around 6 o'clock on a weekday. The dining room is pretty big. They have tables for different size parties. I'm sitting myself at a table for 4. You probably imagine why I ordered so many dishes for one person. So they were pretty concerned about that when I first came here. And the funny thing is that whenever I come to a restaurant, the waiters are always concerned about that. I think that's really nice of them. They're concerned about my health. But in any case, yeah, there's a lot of good food here to be had at not expensive prices. You know, there are more expensive items on the menu, but you can get most of the good stuff below under $25. So yeah, you definitely should come here and give this a try. And this restaurant is one of those old legacy restaurants in Chinatown that I usually like to introduce everyone to. So come here, order a lot, and I'm sure you'll be happy. Thanks for watching the Minute Review Show. If you would like to support my channel, you can buy me a coffee or join my channel as a membership for as little as $3 a month, so we can keep this channel going. Also, if you would like to email me with any suggestions, my email is minutereviewshow@outlook.com. You can find the email in my channel page. And also, please tell your friends about this channel. There's going to be a lot of places that you can introduce your friends to. And also, like, share, and subscribe for this channel. I would greatly appreciate it, and it helps a lot. Thank you very much, and I will see you very soon in my next video. The final cost of this meal is $78, including tip.